Hi everybody, I'm Gavin from the Westmarches team.
And I'm Jack from Westmarches.
We're going to talk about the Year 2 patches that's coming out today, when this video is posted as well. So we're going to talk through it. So change 1 has been one that we've been talking about for quite some time, and that is that we're converting from an XP system to a token system. And how this token system works is that you have to gather a number of tokens equal to your current level to level to the next. So if you're a level 1 character, you would gain 1 token to level 2. But for a level 19 character, you'd collect 19 tokens to level up to level 20. And like before, when you die, you lose all tokens, and you go back to the boundary, so you'd just be your level with 0 tokens. However, if you die, this is an amendment to the previous rules, if you die, and the token gained from that quest would have leveled you up, you still level up with your new character. So if you're a level 4 with 3 tokens, and you finish the quest, but your character has died, your next character will be level 5. You might be wondering how we're going to convert you. Well, it's very simple. We have a table which has XP values to tokens, but as we know this is 5e and not 3.5, we're not going to make you sit and do maths. We're going to do it for you. Just show up to the next session with your character sheet and we'll sort it out. We think this was due to basically people didn't like XP and comparing numbers, so we just removed it from the equation. Job done. The second change that we're going to be talking about today is the adventurers ranks. For a long time we've had them in the chat, but they've kind of just been a thing that you look at. You know people are steel and that means 4 to 5, but we don't like the way they work currently, so we're changing them. The list is in the channel as you can see, but I'm just going to go over the important parts. Steel is being split into iron, which is level 4s, and steels, who are level 5s. The reason for this being that posting quests for low steel is a gut punch to anybody in the steel rank. If they're level 5, they don't get to play. Similarly, steel quests, if people go on steel quests and find out they're too hard because they were level 4, that's unfair. We've also removed ruby. This is because it was red. That's the simple reason. We're DMs, we have the colour red, you don't get the colour red. So it's being replaced with topaz. Many of the changes you can see on the post, but they're fairly self-explanatory, just simple changes of the numbers around. But I think you guys should like it. One thing I forgot to mention, as a thank you for suffering through the older ranks and XP, we will be giving everybody at a session when they turn up to do the conversion an extra token to get them on their way in the new system.
The other thing we're doing is we're changing how DM player characters kind of function. DMs are now going to have several player characters, typically at like various different levels. That means that on sessions, if we need them to support or if they're needed for a plot reason or anything like that, they can come in at various levels, so DMs can fill in if it's needed. So DMs will be playing in other DM sessions or in their own sessions using these various player characters. How this works with the new token system is that if a DM plays that character obviously gets the token. But if a DM runs a session and has no player characters, considering we're still putting the work and effort and time and everything in, we're still going to gain a token. We can just put it on one of the characters. So it's just going to make it so we still have characters that are going to keep up with the players that are getting into like levels 8s, 9s, 10s, and we can still go on quests with them with our higher level characters. But it means that we can also still help the lower porcelains and things like that.
Also, just a quick amendment, in order to make sure if we have player characters, ours are more like NPCs than their characters. Yeah. We might want them to stay in a boundary. For example, the example in the PHB is the Dwarven Fighter Bruna. He is we might use him as a low-level character. We wouldn't want him to accept tokens. DMs reserve the right to deny the gaining of tokens if they don't want the token.
They can stay at a certain level. The other thing is, like, on the topic of our PCs having plot hooks behind them, we'd like to remind players that the Looking for Group channel we have is actually a perfect channel if you want to explore your own character's backstory. It's never be underestimated to just go on there and throw out any hook you want to do, and we'll try and accommodate any kind of quest that you've got in mind. Whether that's something like looking for resources for crafting, which is what I've done, or if it's wanting to go and find other plot hooks that you've picked up, like storylines, or if your character has anything interesting that they would always want to do. And on another note for how quests are functioning now, we're also going to change. It's not so much a change, more we're going to actually order how this happens. On quests, they are no longer going to be first come, first serve. From now on, quests will come with a sign-up deadline, application, and people will apply for those quests. After the deadline, we will actually select the players from the applications that have been handed in, just based on their reasons, their and party composition on top of it. So we'd like players to kind of put down their class and level, as well as maybe their motivation for taking part in specific quests, just so we can make sure that people are getting the right quests for them and everyone's got a fair share to doing quests. On the topic of DMs in these quests as well, DMs will be allowed to apply, but they'll have a lower priority than players typically. Because if we ever really want to play a game, we can always make them.
Yeah.
So, the other thing on top of that is that we are now going to have players bringing a thing called an adventurer's log along, which it just kind of keeps track of how many tokens you've got, what items you've got, and gold and things like that, just so we can kind of micromanage characters on quests, know what people have before they go along to places and things like that. And after sessions, you'd get your DM to sign off on the quest that you've done, as well as the things that you've got from this quest, just to kind of make sure everything's all okay, and just really keep track of the game more. Because in campaigns, a DM's only managing so many people at a time, so it's easy to keep on track of it all. We've got so many people, so we want to try and have some kind of more physical way that we can keep track of things that are going on with player characters. I know Curry, for an example, has his Horn of Valhalla, and that thing can change entire encounters. So it's just kind of making sure we know these kinds of things as they come along.
And I also think the adventure log might just be like an interesting memento. Imagine if you've been playing Westmarches for 3-4 years, and then you finish, and you've got this log that's like 10 pages long, and it has every single quest you've done from year 2 to on. That's a really fun thing to have, and I think that although we are using it for micromanagement, countermeasures, things like that, I think it'll just be a nice thing to have, really. Another thing starting today is our anonymous complaints procedure. We understand that people may have problems with the way things are ran, or things that have been said. It's not also about that, but also just about some people's behaviour. Perhaps a player has been doing something in sessions that you think is very inappropriate, perhaps something was said you didn't like. We want to have people a chance to vent without feeling that they are frightened to talk to somebody. I am not oblivious. I am aware that walking up to somebody and being like, I don't like what you do, is not easy. So this form should help with that. It is again in the important documents channel that's just been created, and we are going to meet up fortnightly and address all complaints in the box, and also do other things at the DM meeting, but mainly going to focus on the complaints. And then after that meeting, we're going to produce videos like this, addressing these complaints and what action we have chosen to take or not take based on this complaint. Again, there'll be no people getting called out. If your complaint is about this specific person, that won't be in the video, we'll sort that privately. But if it's an issue based on the system, we are willing to discuss that, make changes or not make changes, but our opinions will be clearly outlined on the videos. And any changes made will be made in the rules channel. Speaking of the YouTube channel, we're also going to be using this as a platform to keep people up to speed on what's happening at Westmarches. We are fully aware that the Split River is a fairly fast-moving channel, and if you don't get in there quick, you're going to miss out on what happened maybe in 1 or 2 quests, and then it's hard to scroll up. So we are going to, as DMs, take on the moniker of making monthly recaps of what has happened in the month on the quests, all the plot hooks that have occurred, but only the information that the PCs would know, of course. And these videos will be useful if, say, you go on holiday, you come back, you watch that 15-minute video maybe, and you're back to full speed. I am going to make one based on the recap of the entirety of this year, so look out for that, but that's going to be difficult. That won't be happening for a month or 2. We're currently trawling through all the logs, but that will come out eventually, so hold tight for that. And I'm also going to make a video based on recapping the rules, based on just character creation. There might be a video on that, on how you create a character for this Westmarches, things like that. Imagine Handbooker Helper or the D&D Beyond videos, something like that, but more focused on this campaign. The final thing, and this is the thing that's most exciting to me, is that I've had the pleasure of running Westmarches since it came out. Jack has recently joined the team, and it is an opportunity you don't really get with a campaign. You don't get to meet so many players and have this vast world that's talked about by people. And we want to give that opportunity to other people. So starting today, we are opening DM applications to join the team. All you have to do is private message one of the DMs being like, "Hi, I'm interested in DMing, I have this idea for a session." And then we are going to collate all of the applications and then choose people to run test games for us. So, and if you pass the test game, you will be approved as a DM and you will join the team. Currently, the way we're thinking of doing it, and that we're going to post to do it, is that we are accepting DM applications via DMs, funnily enough, till the 1st of September. And after the 1st of September, we're going to start running the test games for the people who sent us applications, where you sit down, you run the game for us, and we will decide whether we think the game's good enough or not good enough to become a Westmarches DM. Now, of course, this will all be done anonymously. If you don't get chosen to be a DM, you're not going to be ridiculed in the streets. It's a tough job, and we're aware because, you know, the declining mental health. I'm joking. But it is very, very satisfying when it goes right.
Yeah.
So we're willing to open the applications, and we'll announce the new DMs at the roleplay event a few weeks in the uni year. So we're hoping to get applications for that. We hope people are interested in joining the DM team, because it certainly is a unique opportunity. And it's not even one just for a hobby. I mean, this is something you could even put on your CV. I mean, it's a lot to do, but it is definitely worth it. So if people are interested in that, that's a new exciting opportunity. That's all we have to say about the Year 2 patch notes. I hope that we've explained our reasoning. Feel free to talk about this in the Discord, but the rulings decided today are final unless we get a load of complaints, but unlikely.
We'll still probably try it out first.
Yeah.
And then
our plan is to give this a test run, see how it goes. We think this addresses quite a lot of the complaints we've had throughout the year, and I think that Year 2 will be bigger and better than before. Got exciting things in the works.
That's the hope. Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.